litmus test.
Okay, now I like the fact that you actually spoke about the beavers now. As you said correctly, like it's possible that the materials get on site on time. But most times we see a situation of network failures and issues. Then also there's even the issues of even the training of the staff handling these machines, not having enough knowledge to literally make sure that's fine, they do what's needed for the voters to be able to cast their votes. Now, going forward, in situations like that, people have brought up conversations talking about what alternatives can there be in situations where beavers has challenges or we're having network issues, or I mean the beavers, the whole system thing is not working. What can we do? I'm looking up to a day in my life where, just like in Ghana, just now, I don't want to mention if I say, you are talking about America, I'm talking about yes,
let's talk about Ghana or Africa, where the whole city wouldn't be shut down just because we're having an election. Do you understand what I mean? Where I can go to work, take time off at 12 noon. Cast your vote. I just cast my vote and come back. Yes. What do we do here? The police will come out. Everybody, we are going to lock down from 12 midnight till this. There will be no movement. No movement of this. It is also affecting the economy. Nobody does that. That is one. Two, I'm also looking. Why is it that? And I'll be asking time and time number. Why is it that from the comfort of my house, I can pick my phone. I don't need to go to the bank. I just open up my app, do my transfer. In fact, I can't remember when last I physically visited it. I'm sure it's the same thing with you. I physically visited the bank. That is a high level of security surrounding it. Why is it that I cannot be able to sit down in the conference, apart from just going to the pool, and just with my phone, I can vote, and it counts. So, what I'm looking at is that we have a long way to go, but let's continue to improve on what we have. If we continue to improve on what we have, and making sure that we adhere to the tenets of the electoral act as it is, because most of them that are not Nigerians have been saying, oh no, the problem is the law. We need to take out with the law. This is not the law. In Nigeria as it is, we have enough laws to take care of all our interests. If you look at the 1999 Constitution as amended, there's practically nothing under the sun that we also have the Electoral Act. That's what I'm saying. I said the Electoral Act. Stakeholders are still clamoring for a reform on this. The one that is there, have we been able to implement it to the letter? Have we been able to implement it to the letter? Let's look at it now. Have we been able to implement it to the letter? So my own is not the law, it is the implementation. And who implements the law? Nigerians. So when we have a mindset to be able to get it right, then some of these things, election by now shouldn't be a problem. For goodness sake, we've been voting since 1999. 1999 to 2025, how many years is it? Now we're saying, at the point we say it's nascent democracy. We are learning. How many years is it going to take us to be able? I say Ghana here. Let's not talk of those other, pardon my use of words, useless African countries like Cameroon and some of them. You have to be careful with the choice of words. I'm a journalist. I'm a broadcaster. That's why I know. That's what I'm saying. But we have to look at where South Africa, for example. I've talked about Ghana. Then the only country that is competition with Nigeria, as far as Africa is concerned, is South Africa. But when you say South Africans, have you ever seen any time that you had a presidential election or a local government election in South Africa and you see them going to court? Ask yourself. It's because the system has been designed for the people to be able to believe in the system and believe that it works. Whatever result comes out, they know that is the fact, that is it. But not our own here. Some people will not prepare to go for election and wait after election so that they can be able to go to court and upturn what. So the fact remains is that let our electoral system work. Let us make people have belief in what is right. And with that, get to the reforms in the electoral system. But let's tell the voter that is, intending voter that is about to come out to cast his or her ballot, that accreditation and voting will kickstart at 8:30 this morning. What are those basic things they need to know? You know, you cannot come out and vote when you don't have a PVC. So walk us through those basic steps that an intending voter needs to know about this election. A lot of Anambarians are watching this program in Anambra State. Let me talk to them in a language they understand. Ndebany, ono puta be out of vote. Onyo obulabu no na television. So where are you card? I'm going to type, of course. You wear card they puta be out of vote. To onye Brunobi. Or when you question each Anambra State where Demma, Oga Demma. What I'm only saying in a sense that they should come out and go and vote. let them go and vote for a candidate of their choice, because whatever choice they make matters a lot. So they should just sit down in the comfort of their home and be watching us on TVC. Watch a little, but you have your voter's card. For goodness sake. And let me tell you what is happening. Let me tell you what's happening. We have this illusion that, because people have picked their voter's card, they are going to vote. There are several reasons why they pick voter's card in Nigeria. I'm telling you. So most often than not, it's not because they want to use it to vote.
Okay.
Do you understand? Identification. You go to the bank now, they say your source of identification is either your voter's card, your passport, or your driving license. Somebody definitely does not have a car, wouldn't go for a driving license. Somebody that is not going to travel or don't want to jackpot, most often than not, doesn't need a passport. So the easiest one for him or her to have is the voter's card, which is a mean of, yes, we'll talk about NIN, the NIN and the rest of the, but the voter's card is a, so most often than not, what they do is go and pick up this voter card as a means of identification. Now we have to now make them believe and let them know that that voter's card is not just for identification purposes, it is for your right. Because every day you continue to complain that, the governor is not doing this, the House of Assembly member is not doing, the president is not doing, forgetting that you have the right to be able to put the right person in place. When people say, one vote counts. There have been instances where people have lost election over 1, 2, 3 votes, 4 in this country. So it matters. So what I'm saying in essence is that we must make sure that Anambra works. Let the people, I want to see a day where we have an election in a state like Anambra and over 1 million people comes out to vote. That's over 50%. It will be shocking. But let me shock you. Even in the national election, we have never had 50%.
Absolutely.
We've not had up to 50%. I think the highest we ever had was about 36 or 40%. The last general election, presidential election, how many people came out? If you look at the votes.
So is it a case of the minority making decisions for the majority in the country?
It has even gone beyond the minority, because now the minorities vote. Individuals now determine. When I mean individuals, I mean the court.
Okay.
Once an election is conducted, they constitute a panel, electoral panel, judicial panel, or whatever we call it, to be able to deal with those elections. People go there. Court of Appeal, 3, 5, probably, sit over the appeal and decide what over 1 million people have voted on, and decide, no, this election has been cancelled. This person has been put there. That is that 5 people have decided the fate of over 2 million people. Then there are certain some of the election petitions that don't get to the Supreme Court. I'm sure you're aware of that. Some end, and the Court of Appeal. So what happened at the Court of Appeal? Once the Court of Appeal decide, that's the end, especially when you come to legislative matters. Then we go to the Supreme Court. At the end of it all, let's say 30 million out of over 250 million people vote. Then get to the Supreme Court, and about 7 Supreme Court judges sit on that matter and decide and say, okay, this is the person we believe, due to some technicalities.
Absolutely.
And at the end of it all. So the right given to the people, to over 30 million people, are now being taken over by 7. So that's what I'm saying. We're moving from the minority voting to the even